court. All right, teammates, what we're going to do tonight is we are going to talk about a part of the business that I think that everybody needs to respect, be educated on, and be aware of, but not be afraid of, I think that if you understand Primerica is like a high performance vehicle, you know, when you get behind the wheel and you start driving this thing, you'll respect the power, right? Yeah, it looks fancy, it looks great inside and out. But man, just like if you get behind the wheel of any high performance vehicle, like if you get behind the wheel of a Corvette, if you get behind the wheel of a souped up Mustang, you get behind the wheel of a Ferrari, man, it's a nice car, you might drive. But if you don't know what you're doing, man, you can hurt yourself. You know, you can really injure yourself behind the wheel of a high boat. You hit the gas just too much, man, that thing might fishtail out, man. You don't know how many horses is under the hood. Somebody know what I'm talking about because you've driven a high performance vehicle before, and you know how, you know, them things can get up and go and get out from under you. You don't even know what hit you. And so it's similar to Primerica. You know, this is a business to where it's a great business. It's an amazing business. But at the same time, you know, when it comes to life insurance and like that, you know, Alicia, we got to treat this thing as a high performance vehicle, meaning that we got to respect, you know, not only our opportunity, but how do we go about doing it? So tonight, what we're going to train on is quality of business. Now, somebody already getting excited. Somebody saying, come on, Nick, come on with that quality of business. Because in Primerica, it's like any other business. Check this out, family. There are real profits and losses in this business, just like any other business. There are real profits and there are real losses. Now, for the sake of this training, I'm not going to go all deep. I'm not going to go all technical. Now, it's going to be some things that I cover that you may not have seen or seen me share before. So that's why I want you to take notes. I want you to take notes. This is not one of them trainings that you just kind of, it's on over there while you're doing other things and you think you're going to catch it. This is going to be the training tonight. Listen to me, guys. Well, you're going to need to take notes, or if you're not in position to take notes, you're going to need to watch it. Not once, not twice. You're going to need to review this training, listen to this training a lot of different times just to be able to get all of it. So I'm just preparing you. But hopefully you're excited and you need to stay to the end. You need to stay to the end because I'm going to cover some things tonight that's going to help you keep your money. Y'all ain't excited. Hold on a second. Let me show my little deal, Andre. Maybe they get excited, right? And so here it is. We training on quality of business. Quality of business, right? But it's really a training on keeping your cash. Who can get excited about keeping your money? You make money in Primerica, you're going to keep that money. Hopefully you can get excited about that. That's what this training is about, because if you understand the things that I'm covering tonight and you follow them and you're coachable to the system in the process, you will put yourself in a position where not only do you make money in Primerica, but you will keep making money and you will keep that money. Can anybody get excited about that? Let me see your hand go up. You can get excited about that. Hold on a second. Let me get it on gallery view. Yeah, raise your hand if you can get excited about making some money and keeping that money. All right, cool beans. There it is. Now, this is not a training for your upline to continue to spoon feed you these concepts. This is a training for you to be able to educate yourself and be grown in your Primerica business. I'm going to repeat that. This is the training for you to be grown, to be an adult, to be independent in your Primerica business. And I'm telling you right now, just having that level of confidence and power is going to change things. It's going to really, really impact you. So let's talk about quality of business and keeping your cash. Quality of business in Primerica is good business. Quality of business is good business. So if you are following what I'm going to share to you tonight, then trust me, you're going to run a good, solid, clean business. In addition to that, quality of business is a mindset. It's a mindset, meaning that as you come into this business as a new person, right, it's it's best to adopt this mindset early. If you're not licensed, or if you're newly licensed, hadn't been licensed 1-2 months, this is one of the best trainings for you to see tonight, because what it'll do, it'll set the impression on how you should behave and the habits you should have about how you go about your business. But it's a mindset. So even if you're a veteran person and you've been here for a while, there's nothing like getting a refresher and getting reintroduced to these concepts, just to make sure that you're doing the right things as you continue to grow your business. But it's a mindset. It all starts with the way you think about what I share with you tonight. In addition to that, quality of business is stewardship. It's stewardship. You got to make sure that you are being a faithful and wise and good steward over your Primerica business. That's important. It's stewardship. And I pulled this quote out right here when it talks about stewardship. Matthew 25:23. Somebody know where I'm going. And his master replied, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over what? A few things. And I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness." Now, here's the thing. If you're not faithful and responsible over the few things that you have in Primerica, how can you expect God to make you a master over a lot of things? Are y'all with me? So what we're going to talk about tonight is being committed and faithful and understanding how to be a good steward over the business that we write in Primerica. Are y'all still with me? Y'all excited about this? Y'all ready to take notes? Okay, let's jump into it. Here we go. Here we go. Y'all with me? All right. So let's start here, because this is where the magic happens. You know, let's say that you've done a first-time presentation with a client, and you showed them who we are, what we do, and they said, and you said, "Hey, would you be open to getting a wealth builder?" And they said, "Yes." Great. So you set the second appointment and you meet with them to do the wealth builder. And man, they show up. They actually show up, Kimberly Lewis, to the second appointment. You like, hey, now, come on now. You meet with them, second appointment. You take them through the wealth builder process. You're talking about 2 major financial risks: dying too soon, living too long. You talk about the FIN number, effective inflation, where you're at, you know, what their shortfall is. Then you talk about the dying too soon piece, life insurance, yada, 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 and all that. And man, let's say it comes down to the come down. They give you a commitment and they say, "Yep, I'm interested in life insurance and investments." And so this is what happens. They give you permission to close a life app. And so you input that life app in Turbo Apps, right? Alicia know what I'm talking about. She's been doing a lot of that lately, right? You input the life app in Turbo Apps with money. Auntie like that one. With money. It ain't no COD app, right? This is a non-COD life app, a life app with money. When you do that, 2 things happen. 2 things happen. When you input a life app in Turbo Apps with money, 2 things happen. The first thing that happens is that the life app goes to home office for underwriting, right? It gets electronically submitted to our home office. It goes to new business, the underwriting department. It goes there for processing and underwriting. That's where the life app goes. That's the first thing that happens. Y'all know what the second thing that happens is? Somebody already know. You receive an advance commission. Oh, some money gonna hit your account, right? And so you get this little, you know, about 48 hours after you submit it, you get this little do not reply email. Let me come off share screen. Anybody get excited about them do not reply emails that you get? Yeah, you got some money. That just shows that you know how much commission you got. That's a do not reply email. Man, look, we get excited about do not reply emails because that means that we got paid, right? And this is what the email looked like. If you ain't got one in a while, I'm gonna let you see it, right? This is what this looked like. And guess what? A lot of times when we get that do not reply email, Super J, this is what we be thinking. We be thinking that that's it. Policy went to home office for processing. We got paid and we think like Porky Pig. That's all, folks. And we think that that's all we got to do. And we keep on moving. Is that all to the whole process, y'all? That ain't it. So for the new people, that's not it. I know we want that to be the end all be all, but that's not it. That's not the end all be all the process, because what we got to do next, and this is what we're going to talk about, is once it goes to home office for processing, once you get paid your commission, do you all know that that's when the real work starts? That's when the real work starts, right? And so we're going to talk about those two things. What happens to the application when it goes to home office? What happens there, and how some things can kind of get off track there. We'll talk about that. And then also we're going to talk about the advanced commission and what that really means. Are y'all with me so far? So we're going to talk about those two things, because those are the two things that happen, right? And so we got those two things. Let's talk about the advanced commission first, because that's the part that everybody gets excited about. Hey, I got paid. I wrote a sale, I got paid, all that good stuff. So this is what we're going to talk about first, the advanced commission. Let's get to it. Okay, let's create a scenario. Let's say that this is a sharp sister in the business. She's a Primerica agent. Let's say she's a district leader. She does a wealth builder for this married couple. This married couple is the perfect couple. Man, they're prepared for the meeting. Mia, as you can see, they got all their documents out and available. They giving accurate balances and all kind of stuff. They ready. And guess what? She does this wealth builder with this married couple. The married couple gets 2 Roth IRAs and some life insurance, right? And their life insurance policy costs $100 a month. Hopefully you guys are still with me, right? So let's talk about the life insurance, that $100 a month. And what we're going to do from that life insurance premium, $100 a month, we're going to do 2 calculations. I need you to stay with me. We're going to calculate this Primerica agent's total commission and their advance commission. Well, Nick, what do you mean total commission and advance? I thought it's just one commission. Nope, there's 2 commissions that are generated, total commission and advance commission. Let's talk about them both, right? So this is how you calculate commission if you did it by hand in Primerica. And I know they got tools that you can use. They'll do all the math for you, but I'm old school, man. I've been in the business for almost 20 years, right? I know how to calculate commission by hand, and you should too. So for this person who's a district leader, the sharp sister, a district leader, as y'all know, hey, they're on a 50% contract. That's the contract level for a district leader is 50%. So let's go ahead and calculate this sister's total commission. So what you do is you take whatever the monthly premium is on the policy that you wrote. In this situation, it's $100 a month, right? So you take that $100 multiplied by 12. Why do you multiply it by 12? Because there's 12 months in a year. Take the premium, multiply it by 12, because there's 12 months in a year. That equals $1,200 in annual premium. Hopefully everybody's with me. $1,200 annual premium. What's the next step? You take that annual premium calculation, in this case it's $1,200 annual premium, and you subtract $75 from that. Why do you do that? Because that's the annual policy fee that Primerica charges, right? $75 annual policy fee. Now that $75 annual policy fee is already baked into the quote that you gave them. It's not anything extra on top of that. It's already included in the cost. But when you calculate commission, you cannot include the annual policy fee in your commission. So that's why you subtract the $75 from that. So what does that leave? That leaves $1,125 to work with in premium. And so what you do, you take that $1,125 and you multiply it by the agent's contract percentage. In this case, this person's a district leader, so you multiply that $1,125 by 50%. Sadaka, hopefully you're still with me. I know you are. And so that gives you $562.50. That $562.50 is this district leader's total commission for writing that one sale. Spent an hour or 2 with that family, helped them build a financial house, wrote a $100 life app, and as a district leader, total commission is $562.52. You tell me on what planet where this sister is working this business part-time, where somebody working part-time doing something legal, moral, and ethical can make $562 in 1 hour. Well, that just happened. That's what she just did. Total commission $562.50. But wait, that total commission, that's not what she gets paid by Primerica. I know that's the total commission, but she doesn't see that full $562.50. What she sees is an advance commission. Let's talk about advance commission. See, the advance commission is 75% of the total commission. I'm going to repeat that. What advance commission is 75% of the total commission. That's the advance commission. And so what you do, you take that $562.50, multiply that by 75%, that gives you $421.88. That $421.88 is her advance commission. And just like it says down there at start, this amount will be paid to her within 48 to 72 hours of writing that life app. That's what's going to be direct deposited into her account after she writes that life app, that $421.88. That is her advance commission. Is everybody with me so far? Give me a thumbs up if you're with me. Did you just learn something right there? Cool, I got you. All right, total commission, advance commission. But what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna kind of lean into the advance commission and break that thing down, right? We're talking quality of business, family. We're talking quality of business. So in order for you to really respect quality of business, you gotta understand and respect advance commission and what that is. So we put up the advanced commission. This is what this system made for helping that married couple. $421.88. Check this out. An advanced commission represents Primerica advancing the agent the first 9 months of their commission. That 75% advance is the equivalent of the Primerica advancing the agent the first 9 months of their commission up front. They're going to, in good faith, when you write that sale, they're going to advance you the first 9 months of your commission. All right. That's why it's called advance commission. Now, what does that mean? The remaining 3 months, the 10th, 11th, and 12th month, or percentage-wise, the remaining 25% of commission gets paid to the agent, Kim Jones, over the 10th, 11th, and 12th month that the policy stays in force. That's called earns. It's called earns in Primerica, E-A-R-N-S, earns. That's almost like a residual commission. It's like a hidden product. You get paid on it. They pay earns on the 3rd Friday of each month. Whatever policies that you wrote that are in the 10th, 11th, and 12th month, that's when they pay your earns commission the 3rd Friday of every month. You like, where did $170 something from? I didn't write no business. Well, what time of the month was it? What was the 3rd Friday? You just got paid an earns check. Does that make sense? So earns, you only get paid earns if you have policies that are still in force in that 10th, 11th, and 12th month. Are y'all with me? If you're not getting paid earns checks, that means that you don't have enough policies that are staying in force that long. All right, so let me dive back in. This is where it gets real. I need you to hang with me. The advance commission, Janae, is like a loan. It is a loan. It's a loan because Primerica is advancing you in good faith your first 9 months of the premium. Has the client paid 9 months commission? Has the client paid 9 months worth of premium yet? No, they haven't. but Primerica is advancing you the first 9 months. So you need to look at the advance commission like it's a loan. Primerica's giving you money. They fronting you money. They giving you that money up front. That's what an advance commission is. So here's the deal. Every month, a client pays their life insurance premium. It is like they are paying the agent's advance commission loan back. Every month that your client pays on their policy in the first 9 months, it's like they're paying your 9-month advance commission loan back. Does that make sense, y'all? So this is why we are so fanatical about writing policies that can get issued fast so the client can start paying on their life insurance premium as soon as possible. Why? Because Kimberly Lewis, when you write a policy and Primerica pays you an advance commission, that ain't no commission, it's an advance commission, which is like a loan. You need your client to start paying your loan off to Primerica as soon as possible. Are y'all with me? That's why that's important. So when things hang out in underwriting that you done got paid a commission on, they get stuck in underwriting. Oh Lord, because every month that goes by that it's hanging out in underwriting, that's a month that you're missing out on an installment to pay your loan off. Are y'all with me? Here we go. Let's keep going. Here it is. If a client's policy lapses within the first 9 months, the agent will receive a chargeback of the remaining commission they were advanced. I'm going to repeat that. If a client's policy lapses within the first 9 months, the agent will receive a chargeback from Primerica of the remaining commission they were advanced. Well, man, why they charging me back my commissions? They gave you the first 9 months up front in good faith. They gave you wrote the policy, they gave you an advance commission. And so if the client cancels their policy in month 4, there's still 5 months of commission that they paid to you that ain't gonna get paid. So they gotta charge it back. Now, that doesn't mean that you got to break out your checkbook and write a check. No, what Primerica does is that they charge it against any future commissions that you'll receive. That's what they do. So if you write another policy and let's say you got a charge back from one policy, then you write a new policy and you thinking in your mind, and I think my money's going to be about this, but your money come in not here, but here. That means that you had to pay the chargeback back on that one policy that you wrote that you forgot about. That Primerica didn't forget. They know they paid you money on that policy that lapsed. You forgot about it, but they got some computers at the home office that don't forget. So they're going to get that math just right for you, and they're going to deduct out that balance. And they're going to give you what's left over. If there is some that's left over, y'all ain't hearing me. And so that's a reality of the business. This is a high performance vehicle. We want you guys to know this stuff and understand it so that way you know how to conduct yourself, right? And that's what we're going to talk about today is how do you conduct yourself and how do you treat this thing? This is a major key. You got to look at it like this. Every life insurance policy you write is like co-signing a loan for your client. Every policy that you write a policy on this person or that person, you're going to get an advance commission. It is like you are co-signing a loan for your client. Why? Because the commission that you receive is a loan based on their credibility and their ability to pay and their mentality. So all I'm saying, family, is before you write that life insurance policy, listen to me. You need to make sure your clients have the right mentality and the ability to pay. That's why when we ask those questions on the Wealth Builder, like, hey, when you look at your bills and income, realistically, how much can you comfortably sell? See, man, I be lean, Super J, I be leaning on that word comfortable. I be like comfortably set aside on them. I be leaning on it, Alicia. I be like, they like, why is he saying comfortably like that? Because I'm like, yo, then when they give me a number, Sadaka, no, I just did this. She didn't saw me do it. People give me a number, me or no, they give me, I'll be like, well, hold on a second. Is that the number that you can say, oh, I can do that? I mean, well, you can close, you don't even have to blink an eye at it. You can just say, oh, I can do that amount. Like, you ain't got to think twice about it. That's the monthly commitment I'm looking for. I ain't looking for the monthly commitment for people to give me what they saying. I mean, I could probably do about 300 a month, but I have to cut back here. No, I don't want that number. Give me the number where you can continue to function and live your life how you live in it and all of that. And you ain't got to think twice about it. Oh, Nick, if you saying that, well, then I can do 150. I can do that easy. Boom. So we started at 150. You can always increase it. That's how I roll. Because I know ability to pay is a key piece, And I need a person to have the right mentality, Auntie. They got to think of life insurance the right way. They can't be looking at life insurance as just another bill. It needs to be a necessity to them. It needs to be that. Mia has saw me do it. I don't force nobody into buying no life insurance policy. We done ran across with people that they just didn't value life insurance. And guess what? I didn't try to change their mind. And I advise you not to do the same. We do what we do. If they get, this is not rocket science, guys. Man, I know I love my family enough to know that if I check out of here, I want to make sure they got some money that's tax-free to bless them. If another person is in the same situation and I'm talking about life insurance and I'm showing them something that they can afford and they still don't want to pull the trigger, what are we talking about? That's deep rooted. I don't have, man, I'm not going to change that spiritual and thing and that spirit possessed situation. I'm not going to change that in 30 minutes. I ain't got that much holy oil. And plus I'm doing a Zoom. I can't even anoint their head with it. Y'all think I'm playing. Anyway, whatever. I'm moving on. I'm gonna be saying, hey, you know what? You showed right. Check this out, man. When the situation get clear, hit us up. When you want us to call you back? Oh, you want us to call you back in a day after Memorial Day next year? Okay, cool. We'll put you on the list. Mia over there laughing. If Mia's hearing me, she know what I'm talking about. Man, Cat talking about, man, yeah, hit me 2 summers from now, man. You know what I'm saying? What? What? Oh, okay. If you say so, great, man. Hey, I'm gonna get some referrals and we're gonna keep moving. All I'm saying, guys, mentality and ability to pay is everything. It's everything. Because when you write that policy, it's like you're co-signing a loan for your client because you're depending on them to pay their premium, because with them paying their premium, they're paying your advanced commission loan back. Are y'all with me? That's what it is. So, man, if you get that pit in your stomach, like, ooh, I'm on this Zoom. I know I ain't in person, but I'm spending a little brokenness on this client. Yeah, man. I'm spending a little brokenness going on. I know they telling me that they got like a $200 commitment, but it's a strong aroma of brokenness. It's coming through the computer. Guys, if your spidey senses is going off, that it might be just a stench of brokenness in the air, then you need to trust your spidey senses and give somebody an out, or write the policy COD. Write it COD and just let God work that out. You know what I'm saying? This is a business we're trying to run. Look, I believe everybody should have life insurance. I heard Joe Ward say this. I believe everybody should have life insurance. And don't get on me like, well, Nick, ain't we supposed to be trying to sell life? Yeah, I do. I got it. I've been in here 19 years. I believe everybody needs life insurance. I've just been around long enough, Auntie and Mom, to know that not everybody want to pay for it. That's the problem. They need it, but not everybody want to pay for it. And I'm sure not going to pay somebody life insurance, not unless you family. And we do that. I paid my younger brother's life insurance policy for years. Why? Because I knew he wasn't going to keep it. But that's my brother. So anyway, did I rant right there, Super J? I'm sorry, bro. I went on a rant right there. My bad, fam.
No, that was awesome.
Okay, cool. Got it. All right, here we go. All right, so I got more to cover. So let's talk about advanced commissions. Man, did I put this in the wrong place? Okay, all right, cool. So we got that. Boom. Here we go. Now we're going to talk about what happens to the Life app when it goes to home office. This is where your work starts as the agent. You submitted the Life app, you got paid. Now you're thinking that everything is done and complete and stuff like that. There's nothing else for you to do. There's a lot for you to do. There's a lot for you to do. Now, I know some of you guys are saying, well, Nick, nobody shared this with me yet, not to this level. Well, guess what? We're going to help you out tonight. So that way, everybody on this call, you are no longer, and I use this word not in an insulting way, but just in a real way. You're no longer ignorant to what to do once you submit a Life app. I want you to be really in tune and know and be capable. And I don't use that in an insulting way. Please don't take it that way. Because ignorance just means that you just don't know. I don't know. I didn't know that. Nobody did this way. So we're going to do this so everybody can understand what is your responsibility as an agent when you write a Life app, because it's your responsibility. You got paid the money. This is your client. It is your responsibility to do these things that I'm about to share with you. All right. And so once that policy goes to our number one goal, when we submit a Life app, check this out. Make no mistake about it. Our number one goal is to get every life insurance policy issued without requirements within 30 days or less. That's our number one goal, guys. If you want to tell, if you ask me, Nick, when we write a Life app, what's our number one goal? I'm going to say, man, we need to get every policy issued without requirements within 30 days or less. That's our number one goal. So if we know that and we get that in our spirit, then everything that we do after we submit a Life app, now this has to be a spiritual thing that you get in you. Everything that you do, every action you take, all of your behavior has to be focused on, I'm gonna do everything in my power to get these policy issued within the first 30 days after submitting this. I don't care what's going on with it. If they need this, if they need that for it, that's not an excuse. Now, are we gonna be 100 for 100? No, probably not. It might be some that slip through the cracks, but I'm telling you, we need to be working like stink to where the overwhelming majority of our policies, 90+%, get issued within the first 30 days. If you're doing that, you are in position to get paid and keep your money in Primerica. Y'all ain't hearing me. Check this out. That is our number one goal in the hierarchy, is to get policies issued without requirements in the first 30 days or less. All right. And so this is what you need to do. You write a Life app, you submit it. What you're going to do is you're going to go log on to Primerica Online. You're going to click on the My POL tab, and you're going to click that link that says All Apps for Business and Client Management. This is for only when you're licensed. If you're field training and your field trainer wrote a sale, you won't be able to see this. This is only for people that are licensed that wrote a sale on their license. You'll be able to see this. My POL, All Apps for Business Client Management. Once you click on that link, it takes you to a page that looks similar to this. What you're going to do under this Track My Business section, you're going to click on Life Manager. Life Manager. Life Manager is the bulk of your back office. That's where policies go after you've submitted them to home office. They fall into your Life Manager. This is their home while they are in underwriting and processing. You'll find everything in Life Manager. Now, when you get to Life Manager, it's going to probably default in your system to All Apps. Well, you want to do some filtering. First of all, you want to switch your view to base shop view. This is if you have a team and you have downlines under you to be able to see your team's policies and all this stuff. Not just you got your personal view, and then you have your base shop view. Your base shop view is your team view, all of your downlines, right? That's if you have downlines that are writing business, right? So base shop view, personal view. So click to the base shop, right? And then what you do is you're going to choose from this drop down menu, you're going to choose underwriting. That's the first place you go, is underwriting. But as you notice, there's a lot of different options in there. New apps, underwriting, policy changes, issued, and final action, right? Final action is if a person gets declined, that's where their policy will show up, is in final action. If they got declined or something like that, or it went not taken, it'll go into final action. But for the most part, I won't cover that tonight. But for the most part, you're gonna be in underwriting most of the time. So you're in underwriting. So you go to underwriting, right? This is where all of your policies that have not been issued, that are still being processed, they're sitting here in underwriting. And what you got to do, you got to sort through these. They got different ways to filter in underwriting. You got this one right here that says, hey, show me the policies that are going to be closing in 30 days or less. Let me tell you something, family. These policies need the most attention. These are the most urgent policies. If you have any policies that are going to be closing in less than 30 days, you need to be on top of them like crazy. The reason being is because it should have never got that far. It should have never lingered that long. That's an indictment against us. If we have policies that are in there that have been lingering for longer than 30, now I understand that there's some things that are out of our control, and I account for that. But if there's a policy in there, me included, if I see I have a policy in there that's about to close in 30 days, that means that thing has probably been in processing for over 100 days. Because Primerica gives you a lot of time to get this stuff together. But if your policy is about to close in less than 30 days, that means that thing's probably been out there for almost like 180 days, 3 months, 4 months. It's been just lingering in your life manager and underwriting, right? So we can't let things get that far, but you want to sort there first. If you don't have anything there, then you check this one. Hey, what's about to charge back in 30 days? You remember that chargeback? Yeah. It'll tell you. You'll filter out. Well, do I have any policies that are about to hit me with a chargeback in less than 30 days? I need to see them so I can work on them and get that thing right. Okay. After that, the next on the priority list is what's been pending for greater than 60 days. Oh man, we got to get that right, man. I'm supposed to get these policies issued in 30. What's been going longer than that? More than 60 days. Let's get to it. A lot of them are going to be some of the same ones that from the previous two categories. And then you got what's been pending for more than 30 days. And then the lower priority ones, these are the newer policy, what's been pending in underwriting for less than 30 days, right? But that's how you sort through. That's how you sort through. But once let's say that you're in the ones that have been pending for less than 30 days, right? What you want to do is in your life manager, you're in the underwriting view, you're going to click on this link that says pending. Whatever policy you got in there, you click on the pending link, not the policy number. Don't click on the policy number. You're going to click under the status column, pending. You're going to click on that. So click on the pending link to get more details about the client's underwriting status. So once you click on pending, a page like this will show up, right? You have what's going on up at the top, then you have what's going on towards the bottom of the screen. So your eyes need to fall on the bottom of the screen. What's outstanding for this client? So this shows you what has Primerica already received for this client. Well, they did the prescription, this RX Direct. That means that Primerica, when this app was submitted, they did a prescriptions database check on this client and they received that, the information from the database. What's outstanding? This client needs to do a paramed exam. When you see blood profile, exam 1, urine specimen, vitals, exam 1, see exam 1 is the company that's going to be doing the paramed. But these things are outstanding. They still need to be done. They haven't been done yet because there's no date received beside them. Y'all see that? There's no date in there. So that means that they haven't been done yet. So what you want to do, if you want to find out what's going on with the status of the paramed exam, you click on one of the highlighted links, whether it's blood profile, urine specimen, vitals, you click on any one of those links, it'll take you to the same page, same place. And it'll take you to the exam 1 website. And the exam 1 website gives you the status on the client's paramed exam, or if there's a tele underwriting interview that's required, they'll give you that too. And in those notes on the exam 1 page, it'll tell you, been trying to call the client not answering. Am I right, Andrea? It'll read right there. We've called the client. It'll even tell you we're not calling the client anymore because they're not answering. It'll tell you that. And so when your client is saying to you, yeah, I'm gonna schedule the paramedic exam tomorrow, just have them come tomorrow. And you check those notes, you're gonna find out that, yeah, they called to try to schedule it, but they didn't schedule it. They didn't schedule it. And so those are things to help keep you on top of what's happening with your business. But that's not all that you need to focus on. This is one of the main things that you need to focus on this page. Obviously, at the bottom of the page, it's going to give you what's going on, what's been received, what's outstanding in terms of underwriting requirements. And it'll, the exam one links will take you to their page and all that good stuff. But this is where we want you to get in the habit of. You see that box that says add notes up at the top, add notes. We need you to click that link and add notes. Add notes to this application. Please put notes in the system, just like it says here, please put notes in the system to document all communication you have with the client, with home office staff, and any third-party companies like Exam One or eNOA who are assisting in getting this policy through underwriting. You need to add notes. The more notes, the better. Because when you add notes, that lets us know that you're working your business, you're on top of it. If you are not adding notes, that makes your leadership team believe you're not watching your business. We're looking in there, you left a note in there 2 months ago, hadn't been a recent note in there. That means that you're not paying attention to it. Or if you are, you need to just update the notes and let us know, what have you been doing? Notes is everything. Notes is everything. So I've said 2 things that I hope stand out to you in talking about Life Manager stuff. Thing number 1, our number 1 goal. Can somebody come off mute and tell me what our number 1 goal is in the hierarchy when we submit a life app? What's our number 1 goal?
To get policies issued within 30 days or less.
To get policies issued within 30 days, policies issued without requirements in 30 days or less. Okay. And then the second thing, thank you for that, Kim Jones. The second thing is you please be adding notes. Notes. And don't put notes in there that's just for the sake of putting notes. You put notes in the system that you're actually working. So don't be like, hey, I'm gonna call the client tonight. Don't put that note in there. Put the note in there after you've called the client and what the conversation, how the conversation went. Or if you left them a voicemail, hey, I called the client tonight, wasn't able to get them, got their voicemail, we'll be calling tomorrow. Like that's a note. But you can't have just a bunch of that. We need to see results. Like, how are you working this thing? Hey, look, I spoke to the client. We're going to do a 3-way phone call tomorrow to set up the paramedic exam. And then once you do that, you say, yep, called the client tonight. We scheduled we did the 3-way phone call, scheduled the paramedic exam. Paramedic scheduled for this Saturday at 9 a.m. We'll follow up the client to make sure that they got it. I mean, that they completed. Those are the type of notes that we want to see, because that tells the story that you're working your business. Does that make sense? So if you haven't been putting notes in your Life Manager, now's the time. Hey, is there one? Is there one? It's time to repent. The doors of the church are open, right? The doors are open. Hey man, even if you was putting notes at one point, but you ain't no more, you've been backslide. Hey man, doors of the church are open to you too, right? I've been a backslider before when it comes to putting notes. And then I hired my mom as our quality of business manager. And it's just something to get a text from your mama like, where are your notes? Yeah, she hit me up too, y'all. Bad. And I meet with her once a week to talk about stuff. Before we talk about this, let's talk about your stuff. Hold on a second. How you gonna tell everybody else to do it and you ain't doing it? Boy, mom, y'all think y'all get it. All right. But I'm good with mine now, man. My samurai sword is sharp. I'm in it so bad, I'll be putting notes in y'all stuff. Y'all done seen me put a note in y'all policies. I'm in y'all stuff. She got me scared straight. So look, man, notes, document what's going on. That's how you want to play this thing. In addition to that, if you're not adding notes, that makes the leadership team believe that you're not watching your business, and that is a no-no. What's Shannon Sharp saying? We're not playing that game. We're not doing that. because you wrote the policy. You need to be a good steward. It is your responsibility. And I know for the new people, you like, well, Nick, I hear what you're saying. I didn't know it. I got it. And so I'm just playing catch up with you guys. For the new people, we're playing catch up with you to show you these ins and outs of what to do, right? But all of this stuff is fun. Now, let me share this. These are some things that can slow policies down in underwriting. And I think that if you know these things that can possibly slow things down in underwriting, you can understand, what you're up against and get in front of it. So these are three things that can slow policies down underwriting. Underwriting needs the client's medical records, right? You'll see something in there that says ENOAH, like ENOAH. That means that is the company that Primerica uses, a third-party company, to get a client's medical records. For the people on the East Coast, I think Exam One is still the company that does that. But for those of us that are in Texas and other parts, ENOAH is the company that's used. So the company, the underwriting department needs the client's medical records to really determine if they're going to be able to insure them. Medical records can be a pain to get because not all doctor's offices are cooperative, right? But that doesn't mean that you just stay, you keep your hands behind your back like, oh, well, then what can I do? No, there is a lot that we can do as agents, right? So the things that, the client needs, a lot of times, what's slowing it down, the client needs to sign a medical records release form to where the company who's trying to get the medical records for the client, they need the client to sign a separate form. And it can't be electronically signed. They have to sign this form. Now, they can be faxed in once they sign it, but they need to sign this form and send it over to the company so they can send it to the doctor's office so they can release their medical records. This is one of the #1 things that can hold medical records up because the client has not signed the medical records release form. But this is something that us as agents, we can help with that. We can call the client, hey, man, I'm going to email you this medical records release form. I need you to sign this because this is what's going on. Your doctor's office needs this form so they can release your medical records. So they can send them over to our underwriting department so they can finish processing your application. Oh, cool, send it over to me. And they'll sign it, right? Or the doctor's office is just not cooperating, man. They're not answering the phone. They're not being responsive, or they just dragging their feet. If that's the case, guys, that's when you intervene as the agent and you have the client go pick up a copy of their records from their doctor's office. I just had a client. She's got a policy on her mom and her dad, messed around, and the policies lapsed because she changed bank accounts, had the policy for years. So the mom and dad, they got to get reinstated in their policies. Well, they got to go through underwriting again. And that means they got to get medical records, right? And both of their medical records, Andrea gonna love this. Both of their medical records are with the VA. Oh, come on, somebody. Whew. Kimberly Lewis, like, Lord Jesus. Yeah, both of them with the VA. And so anybody who's ever worked with the VA and trying to get medical records, good luck. Good luck. Have y'all seen that movie Taken, where, oh boy, Liam Neeson say, I got a particular set of skills and this, that, and the other, make me a nightmare for a guy like you. And dude on the phone say, good luck, right? I'm telling you, I'm that voice over the phone. You want to get medical records from the VA? Good luck. You better have your client go down to the VA and get a copy of their medical records. But Nick, it's like a phone book. I don't care. You better get them records because the VA ain't about to send them. That's what they had to do. So long story, they had to do that. And she just texted me today, Nick, got the records, boom. I'm like, yes. So yeah, that's the deal. So doctor's office ain't cooperative. You need to have your client go get a copy of their medical records. All right. So that's one of those challenges. Another challenge is that client needs to complete their tele-underwriting interview. Client needs to complete that. That can slow things down in underwriting. Client is not answering their phone. When the tele-underwriting interview people call, well, the solution to that is that you need to set up a 3-way phone call with the client in Exam One. You set that up. Hey, we need to do a 3-way phone call so you can complete your tele-underwriting interview. What day can I call you? And that way we can call the tele-underwriting people. Oh, you can do it tomorrow night? What time? Guys, they stay open till like 11 p.m. Central Time. Like they stay open late. So you got your client be like, I work late. Yeah, cool. That's good. We can do it when you get off. All of that. We can do it early in the morning, right? They're not a 9 to 5 shop. They're not that. They stay open late. You can do that tele-underwriting interview, do the three-way phone call. Now, here's the thing. Let me give you some game on the three-way phone call with tele-underwriting. You cannot let them know that you're on the phone. So when you do the three-way phone call, you need to prep your client. You need to say, hey, listen, you're going to call in. You need this information here. I'm going to give you your policy number. I'm going to sit on this phone, but I'm not going to say anything. So don't call my name. Hey, Nick, am I supposed to tell them I'm not supposed to be on the phone? Don't call my name. So yeah, but you incognito while they do their tele-underwriting interview. That's what you do. Do that. Do that. And so, yeah, client answer. So another thing is that sometimes clients not answering the phone, or the client might start the tele-underwriting interview, but for some reason they don't finish it. This is the most frustrating one. How are you going to start the tele-underwriting interview but not finish it, right? And so if that happens, guess what? Do the same thing. Do a three-way phone call with the client and exam one so they can finish the tele-underwriting interview. And then last but definitely not least, one of you all's favorite, client needs to complete their paramed exam. We wrote them as custom advantage. They got to do height, weight, blood, urine. But client is not answering the phone when they call to try to schedule it. Or you've scheduled it, but the client missed their paramed appointment, and now it's just lingering in limbo. These are the things to jump on really quick in the process, guys. Don't let these things linger long, because the longer you let them linger, the client starts to have second thoughts about whether or not they even want this policy. I'm going to repeat that. If you let these things linger in the system for too long, your client will start to have second thoughts of whether or not they even want this policy. And it'll become harder and harder to get them on the phone. Raise your hand if you've ever had that happen to you. It's okay. Confession is good for the soul. It might be bad for the reputation, but it's good for the soul, right? Yeah, it's happened. It's happened to me because I wasn't on it, right? Boy, Super J, I done lost half the room on that one. Here we go. All right, again, hey, our number one goal is to get life insurance policies issued without requirements within the first 30 days or less. All right, next thing we're going to do is switch to issued. We got two types of issued. We got issued as requested, then we got issued with requirements. Issued as requested and issued with requirements. Issued as requested means that these policies are issued with no challenges, no nothing. It means these policies are issued, no additional requirements. These policies are good. They were submitted, they were approved, bang, zoom, nothing else needed at that point, right? It's all good. There is something that's needed, but there's not any underwriting requirements or any delivery requirements. There's nothing on that part, right? Then you got these one right here, issued with requirements. That means that they were issued, these are policies that are issued, but there's an amendment that's needed, or there's a money thing that's required. Like, it's a requirement, right? That there's something that's needed in order to get this policy fully in force, right? And so the ones that are issued as requested, this is what you want to do. This is something that's fairly new. When a policy is issued as requested, you want to schedule a time to do a policy review with that client. This is just customer service, guys. And this is a Zoom meeting that you can do. And when you do that Zoom meeting with the client, you go over the policy snapshot sheet. It's a one sheet that you can get to once you click on the policy and life manager. There's a one sheet that says view policy snapshot, right? You click on that. It's just a one-page summary of the client's policy. That's what you go over with the client. Go over it with them. It tells them what their coverage is, what their draft date is, the different benefits. It talks about the IBR. That's a way where you can go over the increasing benefit rider and what that means. So that way they're not caught off guard with what the IBR is. When that whole situation happens, just do a policy review with the client. Then in addition to that, have the client register on my.primerica.com, and that's how they can view their policy electronically. Primerica does not email any policies to anybody, not anymore. The client goes on to my.primerica.com, the client portal, that is the client access page to view their policy electronically. In addition to that, clients can update their bank draft information. They can change beneficiaries. They can do all that stuff on my.primerica.com. So have them register for that during the policy review section. And then at the same time, you can collect any emergency contacts and beneficiary contact certificate if you haven't done that already. All that can be done on the policy review appointment. It's just good customer service, guys. Good customer service. And then for those policies that are issued with requirements, oh Lord, here we go. Policy delivery requirements will be one or a combination of these. It's going to be an MRN form. We call that a money requirement form, which means that the client needs to pay a little bit more money for the application. Maybe they were rated up in some way. There's a money requirement form that's needed. There might be a back-end change form where you're adjusting the client's coverage, maybe to lower it to make it more affordable because they were rated up. So a back-end change form may be necessary. Maybe some type of a policy amendment needs to be signed, the basic illustration form and the delivery receipt. Those things right there. Those are the things that are needed. Those are the requirements. The objective is to get the policy delivery requirements. This is huge, guys. Signed and back to home office within 7 days after the policy is issued. The objective is to get all the policy delivery requirements, whatever they are. These are for policies issued with requirements. You want to get those delivery requirements signed and back to home office within 7 days after the policy is issued. And the great news is that you can have the client electronically sign all of these documents. The company does accept DocuSign. But as you're working these issues, you need to be updating your notes every 2 to 3 days until this issue is resolved, until you get all those requirements in. That's what we're going to be looking for. Just update your notes, man. Keep us abreast of what's happening with your deal. Again, our number one goal, I'm going to keep saying it, is to get every life insurance policy issued without requirements within 30 days or less. All right. Last but not least, I'm going to wrap this up and then I'm going to kick it over to Super J for announcements. So we're going to run through that. The Primerica morning paper. Oh, does somebody have something that they want to share? Come off mute. Anybody? All right, cool. I think we're good. The Primerica morning paper. This is something that you should check. If you have, just daily, you should check it daily, especially if you're writing business or your team is writing business. They are out there doing their thing. This is something you better be on top of. You need to check it daily, right? If you don't have a lot of business just now, you're just kind of ramping up. You can maybe check it once or twice a week. But it's a habit thing. You want to get in the habit. Just like people get a morning paper every day in some instances, it's the same thing with Primerica. This is what you check. So there's a few reports that you check, right? There's a few reports that you check. One report that you're going to be checking is Life Manager, right? We just went over Life Manager and what you go through with that. There's more to it, but I just kind of kept it pedestrian for tonight's training. I'm already over time, but Life Manager is one. The second one is Recap Advanced Statements Report. Y'all gonna like this one. Recap Advanced Statements Report. Oh, what's that word advanced in there? Nick just talking about advanced commission. You're right. So where do you find this report? You go into the My POL tab, right? You click on the all apps for business, and under this compensation section right here, you see it right here. Recap Advanced Statements is right there. Check this out. The Recap Advanced Statements report will show the policies that you were paid an advance commission on and all of the policies that cause you a what? Chargeback. It'll show them out there. If you like, man, my money funny, I was supposed to get paid this. Did I get a chargeback? What's going on? You go to that Recap Advanced Statements report, it'll show you. Yep, you got paid and you got paid some money on that policy that you wrote, but you had this policy that charged back, and it'll tell you how it charged back. Yep. So that Recap Advanced Statements report is a very, very powerful report. That's part of your morning paper. You want to watch that. Then there's a report called Life Conservation Report. You want to check that. The Life Conservation Report is a report that will show policies that miss premium payments or they're in jeopardy of lapsing. Now, it'll also show lapse policies, but at the same time, you need to be watching which policies are about to lapse. This is your tool to use to prevent policies from lapsing. It's called the Life Conservation Report. It's under Client Tools. That's where it is. And guys, you can surf and check these things for the people who are licensed. You can go out there and look at these reports and just see if you got anything out there. Man, praise God if you ain't got nothing out there. It's all good, right? But with the Life Conservation Report, you got to know how to navigate that. So one of the things that'll show up in the Life Conservation Report is something called Premium Payment Returned. Right? If you see that out there, it'll say premium payment return. It'll say the client's name, their policy number, when the policy was issued, how many months of premium payments have they paid, all of that. It'll give you all of that. If you see this, what you want to do, the first thing you want to do is contact home office policy owner services to determine if the client has made a payment. Maybe it's showing up, but maybe the client made up their payment. But if they haven't, you contact the client, and a lot of times it's because maybe their account information was off or they changed bank accounts. So you want to update their account and get them back on monthly bank draft. See, if they miss a premium payment, they're no longer on monthly bank draft. They switch them to quarterly. So you want to get them back on monthly bank draft. Do not let anybody sit on a quarterly payment. Don't do it, guys. That is a recipe for policy lapsing. So when you have a client who misses a premium payment, you immediately want to check and see if they're still on monthly, if they're on quarterly. If they're on quarterly, you want to contact the client, update their account information or whatever the case may be, get them back in good standing and fill out a bank draft form, which is a PLA 21 form, and get them back on monthly bank draft. That's the first one. The second one is late pay offer. This is the big one. If somebody is in late pay offer, that means that they've missed two premium payments. They're like 2 months behind, and this bad boy is about to lapse. It hadn't lapsed yet, but it's about to. So you immediately want to contact home office policy owner services. That's what POS stands for, to determine if a payment has been made. If not, ask home office for the very last date that we can accept money before this policy lapses, right? When is this policy going to lapse? What's the last day we can get money in before this policy lapses? Ask home office that. Guys, I'm giving y'all some strong game. You got to pay attention to this. I'm telling you, you're going to have to watch this and listen to it over and over again. That's what you do. If you're noticing, one of the first actions you take is calling home office. Find out the facts about what's going on. Contact the client to make arrangements. They can make an electronic payment to at least just buy you some time. And then what you do is you work it out with the client to get new bank draft information at PLA 21 and get them worked out to where their policy is back in good standing. But what you want to do, if it's in late payoff, that means that we missed it. That we missed it when the client had just the first premium payment return. We missed it. We want to catch them before they get the late pay offer. We want to catch them at the premium payment return. That's the one we want to do. And then, of course, there's this one out there, the ones that are lapsed. So if you have policies that are lapsed, they will show up out here. Determine what it's going to take to get the policy reinstated. You call home office for that. And then what you do is you meet with the client and you talk to them about, hey, man, we need to get your policy back in good standing. If they're open to it, you do a reinstatement form and a new bank draft form to get them back on bank draft. You might have to adjust the coverage amount to something that's more affordable. It's all good. Do what you can. And then this is the one that I really hate, where action number 4, where the client actually called to cancel their policy. They didn't call you, but they called the company directly and said, hey, I want you to cancel my policy. And it'll show up out there on the report, canceled by client. And what you want to do is you want to call home office and get the facts. When did this client call? When they call in to cancel his policy? How long has it been? Okay, if they want to get the policy back in good standing, what do they need to do? And that's your signal to call the client. Now, we want to avoid those types of things, and that's why we want to create and maintain a good relationship with our clients. But sometimes, man, people will just go behind your back. They'll do it, and they'll cancel their policy and not tell you anything, not even tip you off. And so that's rare, but it does happen. It does happen, right? And so those are the things that show up on the life conservation report. And of course, there's a daily blast report. The daily blast report is right here on the Track My Business. It'll just show a lot of facts about your life insurance business, all kind of things. It's kind of like an all-in-one report. I'm not going to go into the details of it because it can get real detailed and gory. And but it's a good report. If you just want to play with it and click on it and just kind of select some of the things, and by all means do that. But that is part of your morning paper as well. What causes chargebacks? 2 things cause chargeback. Something called not takens and lapses. Those are the 2 things that cause chargebacks, right? 2 things that cause chargeback. I'm just going to talk about the not takens. There's 4 types. Decline transaction. And a client can get declined for several reasons. Bad health, poor driving record, criminal background, like a felony, client involved in anything extreme, like all kind of hazardous sports and stuff like that, or the client lying about their health on a life insurance application and Primerica finds out. Those are automatic declines. Yep. That's a not taken. Withdrawn transactions. What does that mean? The client changed their mind during underwriting and decides they don't want the policy. That's called a withdrawn. That's a form of a not taken. Number 3, NTO paid transactions. What is an NTO paid transaction? That means that when you submitted the life app, It was insufficient funds to draft out that premium. That premium, that first month's premium did not go through. Here's the deal. Sadaka and I was having this conversation the other day. Primerica is going to give you the commission in good faith, even before they even draft the client's premium sometimes. They'll still pay you out your commission. So they'll pay you out that, but then they go to draft the client's premium and the money might not be there. And they have insufficient funds, so they can't draft. So what they're going to do is they're going to charge you back that commission. And normally that shows up pretty quick after you submit a life app. You get that charge back pretty quick. And so that's called, the technical term of it is called an NTO paid transaction. The policy is in underwriting, or it can even be showing as issued. But the client's first month's premium, that good faith deposit premium that was supposed to go with the application, it didn't go through. It was insufficient funds. That's called an NTO paid transaction. That's an NTO. And then last but not least, closed and completes. That means that we just let the underwriting requirements linger for so long that they just closed it out. We didn't get the paramed exam completed for the client. It lingered out there for so many days. Primerica just finally just closed it out. Not taken. They didn't complete the tele underwriting interview that was required and lingered out there for so long. Not taken. Underwriting never received the client's medical records and it lingered out there for so long. Not taken. And these things all cause chargebacks. This is the last thing I'm going to show you guys. Take a screenshot of this. These are the key contact numbers that you need to have. These are the key contact numbers that you need to have. These contact numbers will help you manage the back end and the back office of your business. Primerica New Business, Primerica Policy Owner Services. So when you dial those two numbers, you go into a phone tree, you select the prompts, life insurance, and you select new business. If you got a question about what's going on, policy owner service, new businesses, new applications that are in underwriting. You talk to them for that. Policy owner services are policies that are already in force, clients paying premium, but they might have missed a premium payment. And you're trying to figure out what we need to do to get this policy in good standing. That's policy owner services. The Primerica client payment line. If the client is behind and they just need to get a payment in, you can call this 800 number right here and they can take a payment over the phone. Hallelujah. eNOA is the company that we work with that does the medical records. They get the client medical records. This is their number. The tele underwriting interview number. This is the number to call. When you do that three-way phone call for the tele underwriting interview, you call that 877 number. That's what you do. And then if you're going to schedule a paramed exam for a client or with a client, you call this 800 number there. If you are in Pennsylvania, you call a different number. You call that 610 number. That is your number if you are in Pennsylvania to set up the client's paramed exam. This right here is your one-stop shop to manage the back office of your business. And of course, you always have your leaders, your uplines, your RVPs, your coaches. We're here to help you. If you have any questions, you are not by yourself on this. You are not by yourself on this. Call us, ask us. We're here to help. And hopefully you guys got a lot out of this training, but that's all I got. I love you guys. And let's go out and write quality business, because quality business is good business. And I know you guys are in this thing to write great business. Thank y'all so much.